Hello and welcome to a fingernail fixer video. I've been asked for some tips on how to use the CND Additive Crystal Crush. And one of the ways I thought I would share with you is using it to embed into a gel. On this nail I've simply used clear gel. If you need specifics, I happen to have used Brisa Lite sculpting gel in clear. And I've just sculpted an extension edge onto our pretend nail. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the Crystal Crush into the lid of the jar and kind of spread it around so that I can pick up the pieces that I want. I'm going to just use a dry gel brush and pick up the pieces to place them into the top film of the cured gel. So I applied the extension edge using clear gel and cured it the proper amount of time, and now I'm placing some of the Crystal Crush. If you would like to taper up into the nail versus keeping it strictly on the extension edge, you can see that there are smaller pieces of the Crystal Crush when you stick it in the lid and spread them out. Use some of the smaller pieces to taper up and you'll have a little more control over the placement versus the larger pieces. If you want a fuller coverage, you could also come in with some of the smaller pieces and place them between the larger pieces out in the extension edge. Once I'm satisfied with the placement, I want to make sure that everything is laid down. So lay the nail back and look down the barrel and make sure all of the pieces are conformed to the nail. If you have a piece that's too large to lay down and bend to the nail somewhat smoothly, you may want to remove it with your tweezers or nippers. These pieces seem to be laying down most of the way, so they're going to be good to go, except that little guy right there. There he went. So these are going to be good to go to cover them with more clear gel. Since this first layer is cured and I've simply put the Crystal Crush into the top film, I'm going to go ahead and come in with another layer of clear. Sorry about the lawnmower in the background, guys, I'm in a hotel. I'm going to pick up some of that clear and lay it down right over the top of the additive. By putting the additive in this upper layer of the enhancement, this makes it so that when I come in to rebalance, I'm not going to have to file through most of the nail to change what's on the tip. I'll simply have to file through this little bit on the top surface. You may want to dish some of the gel out onto a tile or palette or some other surface, so that when you go back into the jar, you don't have to worry about fishing out pieces of the additive that your gel brush picked up later. Your gel brush is going to move the additive around a little bit because the top film isn't a solid hold like it is in the CND shellac. So just be patient and kind of move things into place. Then let the gel kind of self-level if you're using a self-leveling gel, and it will pretty much smooth out everything for you if you just give it a couple seconds to level out. Once it's completely leveled out, you'll want to go ahead and cure for the proper amount of time. Once it's cured, you'll be able to finish file, and finish filing will take care of any small spots that happen to be sticking out of the gel. So I have a little spot here and here, and both of those will be taken care of with the finish filing. Hope that gives you an idea for using the Crystal Crush in the gel, as well as how to embed other things in your gel without having to completely remove the enhancement for a rebalance. Hope this helps.